Hello and welcome, fellow Pokemon trainers, to the first Liberty Garden Premier Challenge of the 2016-2017 season. I'm Joe Brown, here with my friend Jake Skurchak. It's an exciting time. We had Worlds back in August. This is the first PC of the season, so it's a real big deal. Everyone starts at zero.
Right. Also from Worlds, we saw a lot of different teams, a lot of different styles of play. We saw so many different things that we see previously in the season, and that's going to translate over into the postseason, where we're going to have a transition in January, Sun and Moon coming out. It's going to be a really exciting time.
So, our first matchup of the day, we have 6 rounds coming for you with the top 8. Of course, at the end, we have 2 Worlds qualified players, some of the best in the New York, New Jersey region, Chuppa and Trista Medine. Both, as you said, were at the 2016 World Championships and did well.
That's right. I believe Trista was just short of making day 2, and did Chuppa make day 2? I don't think so, right?
I don't think he did. I can't remember.
Okay, well, both Day 1 Worlds players got their invites, and I think it's going to be a really fun, interesting match.
Yeah, so we're going to hop in there, battling it up. Everyone's getting ready here in round 1. But interestingly, Trista, I overheard her when she was filling out her team sheet. She said that she didn't even unlock her box. So she's using the same exact team that she brought to Worlds, which is, had some really cool, interesting, neat techniques. And Chuppa is also using a pretty well-known team.
Yeah, you'll see that in a minute. But Trista actually, well, if you don't know already, Trista's using the team Inashashar built for the New York, New Jersey. What? Okay.
Oh yeah.
New York, New Jersey Invitational, which is Raichu, Groudon, Rayquaza, Bronzong, Venusaur, and Slowbro. And Chuppa's going to have the team of Kyogre, Raichu, Rayquaza, Hitmontop, Gengar, and Bronzong. So if you don't know, that's also Wolfie Glick's World's winning team. Seems to be the same thing as the team, same items, moves, natures. It seems to be the same thing.
Right. So, well, the best part about Wolf's team was that none of them were on like the big 6 core. So like with the Kyogre, the Rayogre core, beating out all the Groudon, Xerneas. But Hitmontop is a Pokemon that people really wanted to use at the beginning, but it was hard when Xerneas was so dominant to try to bring the Hitmontop out there, except for like maybe an Assault Vest variant or something like that. But with having that Intimidate plus Raichu, so he has 2 Fake Outs on that team, should be good early game against Trista in this situation. Looks like we're looking at Chuppa's his battle box. So they're still getting set up here.
Yeah. There's also, well, I have to go on your point there. A lot of these Pokemon were not actually on the Big 6 team, you're right. But Bronzong actually made quite an appearance around Nationals. But the rest, you never saw in Big 6. Raichu sometimes. And you can also see Kyogre with Xerneas, but it's not the same thing.
Now, the interesting thing is that both Chuppa and Trista have a Raichu, but Trista has that physical variant with the Volt Tackle, try to get more damage off on Kyogre, and Chuppa has the special variant of the Raichu with, like Volt Switch or Nuzzle, those situations.
Nuzzle, Endeavor, Fake Out.
Right. So 2 completely different Raichus, but they both have that, lightning rod ability. Maybe you can get a clutch switch in and get a boost out of it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I liked about Wolfie's team from Worlds, is that you could just get the lightning rod out, just block any electric attacks that are coming to your Kyogre, or thunder waves that are going to hit your Rayquaza, and you can also get the Hitmontop in for intimidates and extra fake out from both of them, and while supporting the rest of your with the rest of your hitters, like Kyogre that can do water spouts, and Rayquaza that can give you Dragon Ascent.
And having Gengar as a potential option for people think that you can use it for Mega, but it's more of a support role. That's where it has been strong if you don't want to do that shadow tag situation, because the Chuppa is very good with weather and like handling, when to switch out his Kyogre to get that advantage over, say, Trista's opposing Groudon. So I'm going to be interested in seeing who can handle that weather situation better, and not necessarily early game because you can always switch out, but like at the end, usually since they both have Rayquaza, it may not even matter whose Primal is out.
Yeah. I actually think both of these players have history running the double primal team. Chuppa placed highly at regionals with double primals, and Trista just has been using it the whole time, or at least for a while. At least I don't know.
Yeah. So
I don't know exactly when.
So we're gonna get into the first game here of the first PC of the brand new season. So get excited. Trista is on top of the screen and Chuppa is on the bottom. So Trista opens with Raichu, Slowbro, and Chuppa has Kyogre and Hitmontop. So definitely not that traditional VGC 2016 Open we're used to.
Right. Usually we used to see Smirgles Xerneas, but now it's completely different. Completely different already, as we said earlier. So this lead is actually really interesting for both players. Trista can go for a fake out onto the Hitmontop and get the eject button and force Chuppa to switch out, but that means Chuppa gets a free switch into something else. So she has to think about that. The Slowbro can go for Trick Room and just kind of wall that Kyogre. I think that also the Raichu can go for Volt Switch. Oh wait, does it have Volt Switch?
Yeah, it has Volt Tackle.
Volt Tackle, yeah. So it could attempt to go for a Volt Tackle, but that does risk the switch into Raichu.
Right, so that's going to be interesting to see on Chuppa's end. Does he keep Kyogre in? The Kyogre is facing a Water-type Pokemon in Slowbro and an Electric-type in Raichu, who has that physical, very strong Volt Tackle, so it might not be the best. So we're going to see switch out from the Slowbro into Rayquaza on Trista's side with that airlock, getting rid of the Water Boost. Then Raichu's fake out, going straight into Kyogre. Kyogre's not going to be able to get an attack off this turn. And then the fake out into Rayquaza. So kind of a null turn, but in that situation, what do you think was the reason Trista switched out her Slowbro?
The reason to switch out Slowbro there is to probably just conserve it. She might want it in the later game, but she doesn't really need it right now because I think that the Slowbro just can't really do anything. It can scald Hitmontop maybe. I think that's all it can really do, or maybe go for Psychic. Does it have Psychic? No, it
does not have Psychic.
So it can just go for Scald. That's all I can really do. Get potential burns, and then Hitmontop switches out, and then gets free switch to Raichu. So she doesn't want that. And she can also get the reduced damage from the airlock Water Spouts. So I think her play there was actually pretty nice, and I think she has a lot of offense now, as opposed to last turn.
So we're going to see Chuppa switch out the Hitmontop here to reserve that Intimidate, get it back in again, and he's going to bring out his own Raichu. Let's see if Trista fell into that trap. Mega Rayquaza on the field, and he's obviously faster than Kyogre. So does he go for the attack onto Kyogre is the question. Delta Stream comes up. Now Ice Beam is only 2 times weak. Volt Tackle does go into the Raichu, getting that Lightning Rod ability. So Trista did go for the Kyogre, and Dragon Ascent into the Raichu most likely. Let's see. And into the Kyogre. So he's going for the double. So Kyogre lives with 28 HP left. Get those, recoil shows off that it is a life orbed Rayquaza. Ice Beam with that minus defense. Even though it's only ×2 in the airlock, that Rayquaza still goes down.
Yeah, I actually like Trista's play there. Even though she lost to Rayquaza, she did get a lot of damage onto the Kyogre. And her Dragon Ascent into Kyogre alone was actually really nice because she can handle the Hitmontop, but she needs that Kyogre gone. If she can't get the Kyogre gone, Chuppa loses a lot of momentum because this team is really defensive. So if she can get rid of the offensive options that Chuppa has, then Trista can just win and with whatever she has in the back, which we haven't seen yet.
So Trista presumably could have the Groudon in the back, so as you're saying, it is super important to get the Kyogre out of this game so Groudon can control the weather. Of course, Chuppa might also bring his Rayquaza. We never know. We don't know what his fourth is, but we see the Slowbro coming back in. So Trista has the opening that she had at the beginning of the game. This situation a little bit different. No fake out available on her end, but Chuppa has that special attack boost from the Lightning Rod and has a special attack move in Volt Switch, but he can't use it while Raichu is out. So what do you think Chuppa can do with his Raichu right now? Just fake out?
That's all I can do. Yeah. Maybe Chuppa can go for Endeavor onto Slowbro, but that doesn't seem to make much sense. So the only play seems to be fake out. Trista can definitely play off of that though.
So Trista Chuppa switches out his Kyogre to preserve it with 28. Hitmontop coming back in, going to intimidate the Raichu and the Slowbro. Might hurt Raichu a little bit there, but Slowbro is a special attacker, not going to matter. And the fake out into Slowbro, so we won't know if Slowbro went for quick attack or Trick Room, but the feint into Hitmontop, expecting a protect out of Kyogre. So Hitmontop gets to switch out because of the eject button. So do you think? I think Trista might have predicted that play, was predicting the Kyogre switch out into Hitmontop just to waste that item on Hitmontop, right?
That's possible, but she also could have expected to protect on a Kyogre, so she just get the feint, get it off the field if she can. I don't know if that would have done enough to take the Kyogre out, but Chuppa gets a free switch, so it kind of goes in Chuppa's favor here either way. But Chuppa's Kyogre is low, so he has to be really careful with it. And if Chuppa brings in Rayquaza, then he only has one play, but to Dragon Ascent or Swords Dance, or that makes two plays actually. But both these players' turns are really limited.
So we're going to see the Kyogre come back in. Again, 28 HP, so another attack could be the end of that Kyogre. But he gets Primordial C back up to get that boost. And it finally completes the turn after the eject button and waiting for the move and everything. So Slowbro flinches. So far he has switched out and he's flinched. So we haven't seen anything out of Slowbro yet.
No, we haven't. It's just been switching and getting faked out and flinching. But I think that she's doing a good job in preserving it because she needs it for Trick Room, maybe late game, or just going for some sort of move that can possibly be a trump card against Chuppa. But without her Rayquaza, she did lose a lot of offensive pressure, but that little HP that Kyogre has is actually really taking a toll on Chuppa as well, because it's also limiting Chuppa's Kyogre to the point where it's either I get one attack and then it's gone, so he has to use it wisely.
Chuppa switches out his Raichu with that special boost into the Hitmontop, another Intimidate. That Raichu is now -2, so even if it does go for the feint, probably not going to do 28 damage to Kyogre. So the Raichu, that feint, and it's a 6 damage. So that Intimidate was important, and it misses the Slowbro. It's not the end of the world, because it would have been resisted, but it does get the knockout on the Raichu. So
wait, Raichu had damage? I didn't wait.
I don't know.
Oh, because the Raichu wasn't focus dashed. I'm like,
oh, that's what it was.
Okay. So
okay.
The Trick Room does go up now, though.
Right. So now the Venusaur comes in.
Oh, I get it now. I get it now.
So what's going on?
So she's trying to basically set up with Venusaur, but she's not really successful with it if Rayquaza's in the back. She has to hope that she can get the Ice Beam damage off, or at least do something to get rid of that Rayquaza, which is going to be the Ice Beam from the Slowbro. But she has to just to break through that barrier of Hitmontop and also an almost gone Kyogre. So she has to kind of make some sacrifices here by having to take some chip damage, or if she's lucky, she'll get away with staying in green HP. But I can see some switches also from Chuppa. There's lots of plays now.
So
this is game 1.
Yep, game 1 here at the first Liberty Garden Premier Challenge of the season. So Chuppa is up 4-2 right now in Pokemon, but Trista has only taken the fake out on her Slowbro, and Venusaur is full health. But because Hitmontop switched in last turn, gets that fake out off. Origin Pulse connects on both, resisted on both, so both Slowbro and Venusaur stay in the green. Sleep Powder connects onto Hitmontop. He has to stay asleep at minimum for at least next turn, and that so Kyogre's able to get about half damage on Slowbro and down to 75 on Venusaur. Hitmontop's asleep. Kyogre still, it's been like 4 or 5 turns that this Kyogre has been, in the red.
Yeah. I actually forgot that the Rayquaza had previously Mega Evolved, so the Venusaur can't Mega Evolve now. So this is even worse for Trista. So I could definitely see Trista, Chuppa coming out with the game 1 win here, but it's definitely not over. I think that just the positioning favors Chuppa so much. I could see Trista forfeiting soon, but it's not over till it's over.
Hitmontop switching out, so he'll still be asleep when he comes back in. Raichu taking his place. Kyogre with the Protect, trying to stay alive. One more turn. Let's see what the Slowbro's up to. Scalds into the Raichu, which does about half. No burn. Venusaur Sludge Bomb. Oh, if Trista got that predict and double attack, double targeted the Raichu, that would have been a free knockout. But that Sludge Bomb goes right into Kyogre. So it's still a 4-2 lead for Chuppa.
Right. I think that Chuppa's just playing his team well. I think just the constant switches and just the huge amount of bulk and switching that Chuppa can do and has access to is helping him win this game just because he's up 4-2 and he's just whittling away at those Pokemon until they're gone. I really like Chuppa's play just because he's able to maneuver the team and be defensive and offensive when he needs to be.
Raichu coming his first turn, fake out again on the Slowbro, so not doing anything. Origin Pulse misses Slowbro for a second time, going into the resisted Venusaur, but it's not Mega, so it's not extra bulk. Still doing well. Sludge Bomb finally Trista gets to knock out that Kyogre. So does that turn around at all, or is it too late? Was Kyogre doing too much out there?
I think it's over now. The Venusaur is just in extreme speed range now from the Rayquaza, which comes in now, and Raichu can just Volt Switch the Slowbro, get a fake out, and then Volt Switch again. I think I don't see a way Trista can win this one, but she does have 2 games to come back. I think that all Chuppa needs to do is go for extreme speed and knock out the Venusaur. Never mind. There's no way, I think, unless the Venusaur can live this extreme speed. That's like Trista's only hope. Which
would be difficult, but Trick Room is still up at least, so
right.
Maybe.
But Chuppa's stalling it out pretty much.
Right. Get a protect on the Venusaur. Ice Beam. We know Slowbro has Ice Beam. Maybe 4 times, but it'll be 2 because he'll Mega Evolve, right? The Rayquaza. Yeah. So it'll only be 2 times. So I don't know the calcs, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't kill. It doesn't knock out from 2-time Ice Beam from Slowbro.
The Rayquaza does have Focus Sash, though. So
okay. So it's fine anyway.
It would not.
Yeah.
I don't think it would matter that much.
Hitmontop coming back in just to preserve the Raichu for that special effective attack on Slowbro. Intimidate, not going to matter on either of these Pokemon. And we're going to see the Mega Evolution out of Rayquaza. So at least Trista got to see the 4th Pokemon, knowing that Chuppa brought Rayquaza with the Kyogre. And that Delta Stream is going to come up. The Extreme Speed. Oh, he actually protects.
I like that.
So protecting to avoid the Ice Beam from the Slowbro. But the Scald into the Hitmontop can't get burned. It's already asleep. Double target into Hitmontop, and again can't get poisoned, so not doing a lot of damage. Very bulky Hitmontop. So the protect on Rayquaza, wasn't even targeted.
Right. I think that Chuppa actually made the right play. He didn't even need to extreme speed because that was the last turn in Trick Room. So all he just had to do was protect and just Dragon Ascent the Slowbro this turn, and just stop the Trick Room from going up. Switch in the Raichu and win.
Dragon Ascent going into the Venusaur, presumably going to do a lot more damage than necessary, but into the Slowbro to get the knockout. I guess he can handle the Venusaur more than the Slowbro. We saw Hitmontop was already asleep this turn, so Venusaur with the Sleep Powder, but Rayquaza avoids. Kind of an irrelevant situation, but you kind of wanted to hit it just for the emphasis of it.
There was a sliver of hope for Trista if she had hit that. She would have to hope that all of those Pokemon stay asleep for 3 turns at best, and then Raichu comes in and get a Sludge Bomb critical hit, because I don't think Fake Out was Volt Switch might KO though. So I don't think that mattered. Yeah.
So Chuppa is here, gonna win Game 1 of Round 1 of the first 2016-2017 Liberty Garden Premier Challenge. So that's important to Worlds caliber players, to Worlds qualified players going at it early on here in New York, and it's that was a fun match. We didn't see the Groudon on Trista's end, so do you think maybe she might want to bring out Groudon in Game 2?
She can. I think that the problem with bringing Groudon is that she has to go against the the Rayquaza, Kyogre, and Hitmontop, which Chuppa brought in all 3 of them last game. So if she can actually find a way to beat the 3 of those and have Groudon at the same time, then she should bring it. But I don't see bringing Groudon as a great idea, but it also can be a really good idea if she can get rid of those Pokemon somehow.
Trista also got herself stuck in a situation where she had Venusaur but couldn't Mega Evolve it because of Rayquaza.
Right.
So even though she got that early damage off on the Kyogre with the Mega Rayquaza's Dragon Descent, because of Chuppa's switch in, she wasn't able to get the one-hit knockout on Kyogre, which really put her behind because Kyogre just stayed out there with under 30 health for like 4 or 5 different turns, just getting some damage off. So maybe. That's going to be another question for Trista is if it's more important to Mega Evolve Venusaur or get that early damage with Mega Rayquaza.
And that could also be a reason to bring Groudon, because then she can get a Chlorophyll boost and actually get some fast sleep powders, but then Chuppa might not want to Mega his Rayquaza, so he can actually get the Dragon Essence off before those go off. So it's a lot of mind games with the Delta Streams, and also Mega Ring Rayquaza. It's simple Rayquaza, methodology there. It's just like, what do I do with this? Do I Mega Evolve it now or later? Or do I Mega Evolve at all? There's just so many possibilities with it.
So game 2, Chuppa winning the first one. Trista needs to come back, win the next 2 to win this round. She leaves the same opening, Raichu, Slowbro, and on Chuppa's end we have the Kyogre and the Hitmontop again, right?
Raichu.
Oh, Raichu, excuse me. So Chuppa actually opens the Raichu this time instead of switching it in. So this is a little bit different, but at least on Trista's end, it's kind of the same, right? You're going to get, regardless, that Raichu is going to fake out the Slowbro, so Slowbro either have to switch out or just eat the fake out.
I'm actually a really big fan of Chuppa's lead here compared to last game, because Chuppa now doesn't even have to switch in Raichu. Raichu is just there to stop the Volt Tackle straight up. So both these Pokemon can do is fake out, but if you think about it, there's a Kyogre on the field, and Trista's really feeling that pressure from the Kyogre. So I could definitely see Trista switching out into Rayquaza and faking out the Kyogre. This is a lot to keep track of. But no, actually.
So Trista gets the fake out off on Chuppa's Raichu.
Oh.
Water Spout, not Origin Pulse, is gonna knock out the Raichu because it doesn't have the Focus Sash. Critical hit. On Slowbro, so he's down pretty low.
Ouch.
But Trista gets the Trick Room off.
Yeah.
So, pretty strong turn for both people. Trista loses Raichu turn 1, but gets the fake out off so that Slowbro can get the Trick Room off.
I'm also wondering about why Trista opted for the fake out onto the Raichu, because she knew that a water attack was coming or just damage was coming onto Raichu had she not faked it out. So I wonder if she thought the Kyogre would protect or not. But other than that, I think Chuppa definitely won this turn. He got to keep Kyogre at full health and got rid of Trista's Lightning Rod. So now Chuppa's free to use electric attacks and really take advantage of what Raichu can do.
Well, I can't give an answer for it either. Maybe potentially getting the Trick Room off was more important than having Raichu, because now you have Venusaur, who's presumably going to Mega here, which has a lot of pressure onto the Kyogre. That might have been a situation. So at least she does have the speed advantage with both her Pokemon, but she ended up losing Raichu in the process.
Yeah. And we also think Venusaur can't really do a lot of damage. Venusaur can Sleep Powder and maybe go for a Grass Knot or a Giga Drain, but that's all it can really do. But as you can see, Trista did opt to bring Groudon this game because she knew that she lacked offense last game.
So the Primal Groudon's going to come in here, get the sun up, get that rain out, and with the Chlorophyll ability, potentially Venusaur could protect the turn, wait it out. But nope, we're going to see the Mega Venusaur, so it's not going to be able to take advantage of that Chlorophyll ability.
You don't want it to right now because
it
turns up.
Oh, that's true, actually. I didn't think of that. Ice Beam into the Venusaur. Because of thick fat, it's not going to do as much. Sleep Powder, but they avoid. So Volt Switch into the Groudon, who's a ground type, so obviously it's immune. So the only thing that happened that turn was Kyogre got a little bit of Ice Beam damage off onto the Venusaur. But now can't use the water attacks, so Kyogre is presumably going to have to switch out.
You're right. It can switch out, but also, Chuppa could make the classic. I'm gonna switch to Rayquaza with my Kyogre out in Desolate Land, and then go to and get a free water attack and KO the Groudon. But that seems kind of obvious, and actually it might not end up working out because she can protect Groudon, get a Sleep Powder off onto Kyogre, and then Chuppa has a useless Kyogre. But I still think I think Trista's actually in a better position right now because she can get a free Precipice Blades if Raichu stays in, which it won't. So she can capitalize on that and go for maybe a Sleep Powder onto the incoming switch, or set up something with Groudon, or she has lots of options because she knows that Raichu is most likely going to switch, or not.
I guess not. Yeah,
I think that was the better play.
Eruption
gets a free switch
from the Groudon, so it's only going to hit the Kyogre hit the Raichu. Excuse me. Gets the knockout because there was damage done, and the Sleep Powder into the protected Kyogre. So both Raichus are down. That's where we're at. We're at 3-3. No one has the Raichu, but sun is up. Presumably Rayquaza can come in here to change that and get the Delta Stream going.
Let's see. What can Chuppa do here? I think Chuppa can bring in Hitmontop here. Yeah. I like that play.
There you go.
I like that a lot, actually.
So I guess he Intimidate off with Hitmontop.
It keeps Trista's Kyogre pretty much neutered and can't really do a lot with Precipice Blades. And if it chooses Eruption, then it can't really do anything much to Kyogre, but it will hit the Hitmontop hard. But you have to also think that you can't really do much to Kyogre at all, and Kyogre can't do anything at all either. So it's pretty much just like a game of who's going to get the big damage off first. But I think that Chuppa just has so limited options right now, and Trista knows that. So I think that she actually is in a really good position.
And we know from the last game that Hitmontop has a eject button, so even if he does get hit with an Eruption, he'll be able to switch out and get that Intimidate again to hurt Groudon in the future. So this is not it's not a great situation for either player where Kyogre can't use his water type attacks, but Groudon is neutered a little bit. Fake out into the Venusaur, does go for that Eruption. So just wants to get the damage off. And he gets the knockout on the Hitmontop. Okay.
Wow.
Ice Beam into the Venusaur. Probably won't get the knockout because of the damage we saw last time, but another one most certainly will. And the Venusaur flinches from that fake out. So do you think Chuppa was expecting the knockout on Hitmontop? He didn't get to use the eject button.
I think that Chuppa definitely got a lot out of the KO onto Hitmontop, because now he gets the free switch to Rayquaza and can't get Water Spout or Origin Pulse, or what does he have? He's got
Origin Pulse and Water Spout.
So I think Chuppa actually got more out of that turn just because he gets the Rayquaza in, and there's no Trick Room that can go up next turn. Or because I think Trick Room is going in 1 or 2 turns. So when the Trick Room goes down, that's when Chuppa can actually win the game, because he can Dragon Ascent and just put on that pressure that he wanted in the early game, and now he's got it back.
So, excuse me, Trista has the Pokemon advantage, but her Mega Venusaur is pretty low. We haven't seen her 4th Pokemon, presumably the Rayquaza as his other restricted Pokemon. Chuppa, although he's down 3-2, has that full health Rayquaza, who's going to be able to reset the weather right now and get the Delta Stream up. But he doesn't actually. He just goes to the airlock and the Protect out of Kyogre, Protect out of Rayquaza, just trying to stall the Trick Room turns. And obviously, whatever Trista does on her end is not going to matter. Eruption, protected by both, and the Sludge Bomb goes into the Rayquaza. And that was the final turn of Trick Room. So that's all Chuppa needed. Now he's back at the speed advantage.
Now Chuppa's back in the driver's seat, and I don't think he's going to get out, because I don't see Chuppa not having a reason to just Dragon Ascent, go for a water move, and then just take out the Groudon easy. I could see maybe something switches. I can see the Groudon switching to Slowbro, maybe, but in that case, then the Dragon Ascent just goes back onto it next turn.
So Groudon is going to switch out into the Slowbro this turn.
Oh, wait.
So maybe try to set up that Trick Room again. but
Oh.
that that Rayquaza not going to evolve again. Protect out of the Venusaur, staying alive. Dragon Ascent into that Venusaur. Water Spout going to do a little bit to the Slowbro. Yeah, hardly anything. So gets the Slowbro in for essentially a free switch. Can try to get Trick Room up. I don't know. Dragon Ascent might knock out the Slowbro. We don't know the calcs on it.
Actually not over, because Chuppa has to make a decision. He has to think whether to, okay, I have to... He can't Mega Evolve, because if he Mega Evolves, the Groudon comes back in and Kyogre's done. But Kyogre is slower than Venusaur outside of Trick Room. So Trista could easily Sleep Powder faster than Kyogre, bring Groudon back in, and try and get the Kyogre out before it wakes up. But if he Dragon Ascent kicks towards like a Venusaur, Trick Room goes up or gets Ice Beam. So he has to make the right play here, but I still see Chuppa winning this, but it's just like he has to be kind of careful with what he does.
Slowbro switching back out into the Groudon to get the Desolate Land up. Let's see if Rayquaza stays in the airlock form. And the Dragon Ascent into the Venusaur potentially, or the Groudon.
Venusaur, he wins.
Yep. Yeah. So knocks out the Venusaur. Now he's up, or now it's tied 2-2. Critical hit didn't matter at all in that situation. What is the Groudon going to do? Kyogre's probably faster. It is.
Right.
Water Spout. That's going to definitely knock out the Groudon there. And now all Trista has left is a Slowbro. So I think Chuppa's going to come away with the first win of the season 2-0.
Right. I think just Chuppa really made the right call there with the Dragon Ascent on the Venusaur. Because now there's only Slowbro left, and the switch that Trista made didn't really work out for her, unfortunately. But she tried her best there, but she didn't make quite the right play, so now she's paying for it. But I still think that both these players played very well in this set, but Chuppa came out on top.
Yeah, obviously, like we've been saying, two Worlds qualified players who have done very well at regionals and obviously win PCs and things like that. So we're going to see the Dragon Ascent doesn't get the knockout on the Slowbro. Has about 30% health left.
Slowbro's really bulky.
He's pretty bulky, yeah. And Water Spout, as we saw earlier, only going to do like 10. No, he gets the hit. He gets the knockout, actually.
Single target.
So single target. That's right. So congratulations to Chuppa on getting the first win of the brand new season here at our first Liberty Garden Premier Challenge 2-0. Obviously, we can expect both these players to do well today, but it is a stacked tournament. We have over 50 people here. Everyone's excited to get that early CP to try to get the advantage.
Right. So good game of both players, and I think we'll be back for the next round.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. So stay tuned. Follow us on Twitter. Hang out in the chat. Talk to your friends, and we'll see you for round 2.